here with Vernon Gowdy III, rock photographer, Oklahoma's rock photographer. Rock and roll, not rocks as in stones, unless they're rolling stones.
That's true, that's true.
So yes, we are talking about live musicians. And how did you get hooked on taking photos in concerts? And tell me the story.
Well,
how you got hooked on that.
I was going to OU. I was a college student. It's probably around 1975. I was a college nerd, majoring in microbiology. And I went to a concert. My sister wanted me to go see Rod Stewart at the Myriad in Oklahoma City. And I hadn't gone to any concerts. I was 20 years old, so I went with her to see Rod Stewart. And that's when Faces was with the band and Ron Wood was playing with them. And I was so engrossed with the concert and the music that I got hooked going to concerts. So I started going to shows. And I also had a friend of mine, Kevin Cobble. He was an astronomy and physics major, and he used to take pictures of meteorites and meteorite showers up in the sky at night. So one night he invited me out to Lexington, Oklahoma to go shoot a meteorite shower. So I learned about timed exposures. And he worked at Blunk Studios, and he taught me about photography. And I started getting interested in shooting pictures, so I bought a camera. And I started taking my basic photos, you know, flowers and still pictures and people and buildings, things like that. Well, one day I took a camera to a concert and went and shot John Denver at Lloyd Noble. And then I started shooting other concerts around town, and I started getting hooked on it. You know, I really enjoyed going to a show and capturing the moment, taking pictures, and that's pretty much was the beginning of me with shooting rock concerts.
You had the assignment, your first assignment at the OU Daily in 1979, the Sex Pistols. And
78.
78, yeah. So I'll say that again. Your first assignment in early January 78 for the OU Daily was the Sex Pistols in Tulsa, and then a number of assignments, and you wanted to start your own magazine. So tell me about the birth of Jam Magazine, what you were doing.
Well, like you said, I had gone to concerts and I had shot some artists, and I looked at the college paper and I noticed that they had concert pictures in there, and I thought I could do better than that. So I applied as a staff photographer for the college paper, the Oklahoma Daily. And my first big assignment was Sex Pistols. So for the 78 and 79, I shot a bunch of shows for the college paper and also other things too, like general interest type stories. But I wasn't satisfied sometimes the way they cropped my pictures and the way the story ran. And I thought, well, you know what? I wouldn't mind starting my own magazine. And a friend of mine, David Huff, he was a sports editor at the college paper, and he decided he wanted to become more entertainment writer. And so David and I would go to a bunch of shows in Oklahoma City and Tulsa. And then one afternoon in a friend's house, Bill Crum was the current entertainment editor, we sat around one day and said, hey, we can start our own magazine. So we started thinking of names and things. And so we finally came up with the name Jam Magazine. Why not make it a free publication? Distribute it to record stores, music stores in Oklahoma City, and sell advertising and pay back, for printing the publication. And so we thought of this idea in July of '79. And in September, we put out a first issue in all the record stores. Back then you had Sound Warehouses and Record Bar and Wilcox Records. So we distributed it in Oklahoma City and Norman and Edmond. And we decided to make it a free monthly publication. And we got the Cat radio station back then sponsored us, and sometimes we'd go to 96X. The Blue Walrus was the other competition station. They also sponsored us back and forth. So,
And it was growing and it took off. By 84, 85, it would move to Dallas area. David Huff moved Jam Magazine.
That's correct.
A regional
magazine,
music magazine. But one of your big highlights was Sammy Hagar at the Texas Jam. Tell me about that show and what's happened with that one moment.
David and I first met Sammy Hagar in '78, and we was doing an interview with him. We played at Lloyd Noble, and he also was going to be playing in Tulsa. And one of the things that Sammy did was he always would like to get on top of the drum riser and jump off into the stage. And I liked the way he jumped off, and to me I thought it'd make a great photograph. And so I kept practicing this jump shot of Sammy's for 2 shows. And finally he was going to be at the Texas Jam, the Cotton Bowl. And so I got a pass to go there, and I was on this special platform about 3 feet down below the main stage in front of 85,000 people. And so I knew what song he was going to jump off the drums. And I thought to myself, this is a chance to get a really great shot. So I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm anticipating a moment, and finally he gets on the drum riser. And back then you're shooting film, okay? You can't make a mistake. You know, it's not like digital. You know, you don't know what you're going to get until you're done. So he jumps off the stage, and I get this shot. I look at it a few days later, and I tell myself, this is really a cool shot. And I knew I had got a great shot, and that made me feel good, you know. But basically, it took a lot of anticipation, I think, was part of it, and just a little bit, you know, just getting used to his movements, the way he moved around on stage.
And but, that picture has been used in his biography, and another big moment then, another good story that you tell is you got into music promotion and had a place called Jammies, and U2 came along.
Well,
with that.
Back then, besides doing a magazine, I got involved with booking bands at clubs and trying to put out some local records of artists. And well, one idea I wanted to do is I wanted to do a club, and I called it Jammies. Well, there was a place, this building was on Northwest 30th in Portland. It had been different clubs in the past, trucking company, et cetera, et cetera. And I was good, I thought, you know, at promotion and things like that. And I had a magazine, so why not do a club where I could promote the bands in the magazine for the club? So I found a couple of guys that had the finances and the resources to put up the money for the club. And so we opened up New Year's Eve in '81. And a couple months later, I get a phone call from Larry Schaefer from Little Wing Productions. He goes, hey Vernon, I got this band called U2 that wants to play, and I got them for $1,500. Can we have them play at Jammies? I said, hey, no problem, it'd be great. It'd be great to have them play. So we sold tickets for $6 a whack. And I think Jammies back then could hold between 500 to 800 people. And of course, we sold out. And you know, it was like Fingers was a local band, and they backed up U2. And I remember U2 played Gloria, I Will Follow. They played like about an hour and a half. But to me, what's ironic is the fact that here I am, you know, shooting concerts, supposed to be a rock photographer, and all I wanted to do was just kick back and party and have a good time, drink some beer. And so I didn't get any photographs of the show. And to this day, I regret that. You know, I wish, you know, hindsight's always a bad thing. You know, I haven't seen one picture yet from that performance.
Maybe someone out there has the photos, maybe on some film that's never been developed.
Yes.
They can contact you if you have YouTube from that year.
Oh, I want to add one thing. Can I go ahead and add one thing?
Ahead.
What was cool about U2 is in the afternoon about 2 o'clock, the whole band walks into the club. And they had their road crew with them. And they say, hey, we need to check out your electrical wiring, your electrical box. They go, okay, fine. So I walked over there by the stage and I showed them here's our electrical box right here. He goes, well, do you have like a 220 three-way? I said, three-way phase? I go, what? What do you mean 220 three-way phase? So they had some kind of guy, there was a road crew guy that I guess was also a certified electrician. He goes, well, I'll tell you what, no problem. I can go back behind the club and I can patch into the telephone pole and I can wire in. I said, okay, fine, no problem. So the whole band walks back out. So, you know.
And they took care of that.
They took care of that problem. That's right.
That's why they became a success. They took care of their problems in advance.
That's true.
Now you, Vernon, stayed out of photography, music photography for 18 years and then came back in 2005. What are you doing now? And, well, you know, bring us up to the modern times here. It's 2020.
Well, I stopped taking photographs in '86. I got burnt out. So I stopped for 18 years. Then in 2005, I started taking photographs again. I went to the Coca-Cola Event Center and shot Robert Plant, shot Cheap Trick at the Frontier City. And I realized I was hooked again. Mm-hmm. And all this passion for shooting rock shows came back to me. And so I started shooting concerts for the past, I guess, 7 years. And then my wife has a landscaping company, Everleaf Landscape, and I do that for her. Work full-time doing landscaping, but at nighttime sometimes I'll go shoot a show. I might shoot a show at Diamond Ballroom, might go to Brady Theater in Tulsa. I shoot the Rocklahoma shows. Whenever there's a rock concert in town, if I can go shoot it, I might try to shoot the show. You know.
And you have a number of books that have been published with your work, and what's the next show you're going to go to? Anything on the calendar circled?
Yes, the next show I'm going to go shoot will probably be at the Brady Theater, the Jimi Hendrix Tribute Festival.
Okay.
We have a number of famous musicians paying tribute to Jimi Hendrix, and that should be a great show. That's supposed to be March the 20th at Brady.
Cool.
And then, of course, I'm going to go back to Rocklahoma too, shoot that. But
that's an annual deal now.
Yeah, it's an annual deal, yeah. So I do okay?
That is great.
All right, thanks. All right.